What's up, guys? Welcome back to K.D.P programming. Today's video, it's a very special one. Today's video, it's actually a Python based video. So in today's video, I'll actually be showing you guys how to return multiple values from one function. So I don't think this is a function that it's supported in languages such as C# or Java, but if you are a C# or Java programmer, it won't hurt to stick around. So without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into this. So like I said, today's video, it's a very special one. So in today's video, I'll actually be showing you guys how to return multiple values from a single function. So think of it like this. Imagine if you had two numbers that you need to do some calculation around it. So in these two numbers, you actually have to calculate the product of the two number, and you have to calculate the sum of the two number and the difference between the two numbers. If you're doing this with the language such as C# or Java or C++, you would actually have to write three different functions. You will have to write the function that does the sum calculation, and the function that does the product calculation, and the function that does the difference calculation. But in Python, you can actually return multiple values within one function. So this gives us the ability to write or to calculate those values in a single function and return all the values within the single function. So without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into this coding. So let's have a function that we will call let's say calc function. This is the calculate function, and it has to take in two numbers, which is num1 and num2. And in this function, we have to calculate three things. We have to calculate the product, the sum, and the difference. So let's start with the sum. So let's say calculated sum, I'll just abbreviate it and say calc sum, is equal to num1 plus num2. And then our calculated product is equal to our num1 multiplied by num2. And then now we have to calculate our last variable, which is our difference. And I'll say ABS and say num1 minus num2. So if you take notice here, I include this function that is called ABS. So I want you guys to put this in the comment box below. Tell me what this ABS function is and what it does and why did I put it there. And also, there's actually two functions that does the similar thing. First one is this one that we have here, and there's another ABS function from the math class. So also comment what is the difference between this ABS and the ABS function from the math class. And now what we have to do is we have to return our variables. So we have to return our calculated sum, and then we return our calculated product, and then we return our calculated difference. And now we have to write in the code that takes the user input for the two values. So what we do now is we're just gonna say our num1 is equal to input, and let's say please enter num1. Let's actually convert this to an integer because we want an input of integer. Let's just say int, like that. That's num1. And our num2, we do the same. So let's just do that, and we can edit, say num2, and we say num2 here, and then we have to display our output. But first we have to get the values that will hold the results that has been returned from the calc function. So let's just say result sum, and we have the results product, and we have the results difference. This is equal to we call our calc function, our calculate function, and then we pass in the value that we're taking from the user, so which is num1 and num2. Let's just get rid of that space over there. And now we have to display the output from the function. So what we can do now is we say print, and we want to print the output from the function. So we'll just say the sum, let's say the sum of, then, and so the sum of num1 and num2 is actually equal to, then we say the sum that we got from our function, which is our result sum. And then we make a new line, and then we say we do the very same thing, but this time we do it with the product. So let's just do that. Say product, let's edit that and say the product of num1 and num2 is equal to res product, and then we do the last one, which is our difference. So now we do that and say the difference of num1 and num2 is equal to res difference. So now if I execute this, let's just go and execute our code. We press that, and now it's asking us to please enter num1. Let's just enter any random value. So let's just enter 2 and proceed to the next line. Now we are asked to enter our num2. Let's just enter 5. And now your output, this is your output from the function. And now you can see that it returned 3 values, but this was returned from one function. So you don't have to write multiple functions for a dedicated calculation. You can actually do the calculation inside that one function and return those multiple variables. So now you can see here that the sum of 2 and 5 is 7, and the product of 2 and 5 is equal to 10, because that is 2 multiplied by 5. And then you can see that the difference between 2 and 5 is 3, which is correct. And this line here, if you don't know what the backslash and n means, that is just a special character for a new line. Or if you don't want to do this, you can actually make your code more cleaner and do something like this. You can get rid of all of the stuff and write each and every input on a new line. So let's just do this and give this a new line between the question and the output. In this one, we're keeping the product. And last but not least, we're going to keep our difference. So just get rid of this. And cool. So now let's execute our code. So this time, let's just enter in different values. Let's just enter 10. Then the next one, let's just enter 5. So now you can see that it gave you this new line here. The output still looks more or less the same, but now if you look at the code, the output, each and every line, it has its own dedicated print. And now you can see here that the sum of 10 and 5 is 15. The product of 10 and 5 it's 50, and the difference between 10 and 5 it's 5. So like I said, you can get multiple variables from a single function, and this is what this video was all about. So don't forget to comment in the comment box below about the ABS function, and if you guys have watched this far, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.